The MLB is back, and I have a 6 pick prize picks entry for you guys to lock in. I used the DGF DFS optimizer to find all of these plays. We see a lot of green on the screen here, which is great. Found 6 of them, put them in an entry. If we get all 6 to cash, we will 25x our money, turning 20 bucks into 500 bucks. As for me, my name is Matt Modi, recording this on behalf of DGF Fantasy. Use again, like I said, using their DFS optimizer, and we can get into it. So, 2 things that I want to note before we get into the individual picks themselves, just about prize picks in general. Number one, when you're using prize picks, the best bang for your buck, the best value is going to be 5 or 6 pick options, which I know is the most scariest, obviously, because that's you need the most plays to hit in order to cash out, right? For a 6 pick one, you need to get 5 or 6 picks correct. For a 5 pick one, you need to get 4 or 5. So I understand that is a little bit scary, but in terms of value, in terms of win percentage, it's the best bang for your buck. And really, all you need to do is win like 5% and you're making money. So if you lose you lose 9 straight, you win that 10th one, you are profitable. And then when it comes to prize picks, unlike regular sports betting, the payouts don't change regardless of what plays you add. Like for this pitcher one I have here, right now we have less than 3.5 strikeouts. We see the stats: 6 correct, 25x, 20 bucks to win 500. Well, if we change this to more than, same exact payout, right? Nothing changes with the payout despite changing the play itself. And that's different from sports betting. Like if you see all the sports books and where they price this play heavily in the minus 130s because they deem this play likely to hit. Because PrizePicks doesn't do that, you're not paying any extra juice. This becomes a valuable play on PrizePicks literally because it's likely to hit, which is essentially the PrizePicks strategy. Find plays that are likely to hit. Using the DFS optimizer on Daily Grind Fantasy makes that incredibly easy. It gives you all the information that you need: player name, the stat that you're actually taking, whether you're taking over under, and then the difference between the PrizePicks line and the sportsbook line, which I'll get into in a little bit when I'm talking through a lot of these plays. As we can see, a lot of them are going to be on the esports, but we do have an MLB one. Had to make sure we got that in there. And then you also need to understand the percent odds to hit and the odds under the DGF logo here. Basically, the way it works is DGF calculates what they deem to be a true line of a market. They take into account all of the different pricing from all the different sports books, giving heavier weight towards the sharper sports books, spits out this perfect line that you see here. In this case, this top one is minus 165, converts that to a percent odds to hit, which we see is 55.2%. So that's kind of how you use the DFS optimizer. It's really simple. Green equals good. The less green it is, the less good it is. Generally, for 5 or 6 pick options, you want to stay above right around the 54.4, 54.5% mark. If you do that, then you're good to go in terms of them being strictly positive expected value. So let's talk through these plays. Number one, it's a League of Legends esports play. Impact to go less than 2 map 1 kills. We see that right here. The player name impact, the stat map 1 kills. We're taking the under. And then this is where I want to highlight the difference between the PrizePicks line and the sportsbook line. Because just because a sportsbook has its over under priced at 1.5, obviously that doesn't mean PrizePicks is going to have the same exact thing. And in this case, PrizePicks has it at 2, sportsbooks have it at 1.5. Therein creates the value on this play going under 2, right? The sportsbooks are telling you they think that he's likely to go under 2, which is why they're pricing it at 1.5. This is where this little button right here, you see show DFS line discrepancies, comes into play. This is a line discrepancy. The sportsbook has the line at 1.5. PrizePicks has it at 2. That means that there's value on this to go under 2 because the sportsbooks have it at 1.5. And if you want to look at the odds themselves, DGF calculates it at minus 165, giving this just above a 55% chance of hitting. And a lot of these esports ones is going to be because of a line discrepancy. Not every single one, but most of them. And then the baseball one is not an example of that. So we can talk about that one in a little bit more detail as well. But this is play number 1, impact less than 2 map 1 kills. Next up, another under, Insanity. We're fading him to go less than 4 map 1 kills. As you can see, similar logic here. we're taking him under 4. Sportsbooks have it at 3.5. DGF gives this prices this at minus 149, giving it a 55% chance of hitting, obviously above that 54.5% mark, making this a profitable play to put into a PrizePicks entry. Now, I skipped this Wild Turtle one because they're on the same team. They're both on TSM. You can't combine them in the same entry. Still a good play for whatever reason. If by the time you're watching this, you can no longer take the Insanity one, then go ahead and take Wild Turtle to go under. It's the same exact stat, under 4, because the sportsbooks have it at 3.5. Next up, we have contracts. This time we're taking an over, taking him to go more than 1.5 map 1 kills. Similar logic here, except in this case, it's not a line discrepancy. It's just a straight old odds discrepancy. We are taking him to go over 1.5. That's what the sportsbooks have it at as well, but DGF calculates this line to be at minus 163 because of where all the other sportsbooks price it, right? It's taking odds from every major sportsbook and where they price this play, saying, hey, this should actually be priced at minus 163. Because PrizePicks doesn't charge any extra juice, we can get a value by taking it on PrizePicks, which is exactly what we're doing. So this is our third play. Next up, we got 2 more esports before a MLB one. And there's similar logic here. Jensen, less than 4.5 map 1 kills. We see him right here. This is another example of an odds discrepancy as opposed to a line one, because the sports books also have it at 4.5, but we're getting a good value here based on the percent odds to hit and where the DGF calculates it. Same thing with this next one, Unforgiven, taking him to go less than 3.5. Sportsbooks have it at 3.5. We are getting a value here, taking him, with the DGF line at minus 143. And then the last play, the MLB one that I want to talk through in a little bit more detail, Miles Mikolas, not sure, don't want to totally butcher that guy's name, but we're taking him to go less than 3.5 strikeouts. And here's where you can clearly tell, and I kind of hinted at this at the beginning, why this is a play. Because the implied odds of a PrizePicks 5 and 6 pick entry is roughly minus 119 or so. So it really, as long as like the sports books are pricing it above that number, that's where you're getting some value. And as you can see here, where every single sports book prices it, minus 139, minus 142, minus 135, minus 150, minus 141. We see like all the different sports books up here. This is where the odds are getting pulled from. And then, like I said, what DGF does is just take the weighted average from all of these books, giving heavier weight towards the books that are sharper. So let's pretend that FanDuel and DraftKings are the best. Well, then their odds are going to be given a heavier weight towards the DGF perfect line. So this one being at minus 138, that means that there's some value here taking it on PrizePicks. So percent odds to hit about 54.41, so just above that percent that you need to stay above the 54.4, 54.5. And as you can see, it's a slightly not quite as shaded green, a little bit lighter, which is basically the color coding telling you, hey, this is still good, but you're getting close to where the number you kind of want to stay above. And this rounds out our 6 picks, our 6 plays for this PrizePicks entry. So if you're tailing, comment and let us know. Other than that, remember to like the video, subscribe to the DGF YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.